there's a fish.
Come out here to one of my favorite pits. I'm gonna see if I can catch some fish on this worm. This is a Berkley FLUTE worm, it's called. Berkley FLUTE worm. Designed by Mike Iaconelli. So I'm gonna fish this thing. I'm gonna see how many ways I can rig this and catch a fish. Hopefully at least one. It says to use a weedless wide gap, so I'm guessing they're using it typically to wacky worm. So I'm gonna rig this wacky, see if it works, and then if I can catch fish on it, I'll try a bunch of different other ways. See if I can catch fish on it a bunch of different ways. But pretty interesting bait. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but I don't think that really matters. Surprise the bass with it, see what they say. All right, there's the first rig I'm gonna use, the Wacky Rig. That's a Gamakatsu wide gap hook with a, it's got a little weedless piece of, it's like a little plastic weed guard thing.
There it is. That's a good fish. That's definitely a good fish. Oh yeah, he's a good one. Oh yeah, he's a real good one. Well, that works. Dang.
Alright guys, look at that. Look at that chunk. That might be the same fatty I caught the other week here. That's a nice fish. Nice chunky bass. I don't know how long he is, but he ain't 20 inches, I don't think. I forgot my bump board. Got a little scale on my paddle here. It's hard to measure him on this, but get close. Oh geez, he's almost 20. Oh, he's 18 and a half. What a chunk, man. So the next rig I'm going to do is the Neko Rig. So I'm going to use the same hook. You can use, you don't need one with a weed guard, but I'm just going to hook it through here. And sometimes you use like a, you can use a, what do you call it? An O-ring. But I'm just going to, I don't have any O-rings, so I'm just going to hook it like that. And there's a bunch of different ways to do this, guys. There's no right or wrong way. This is how I like to run a Neko Rig, just like that. Then the difference is you're going to put a weight in it. So, and I don't have these big fancy Neko weights. I use nails. This is actually a little finishing nail. And they don't weigh too much, but it will make it fall that direction. And with a worm like this, it's really big on the end, so I could actually put a couple of them in there, and that's what I'm going to do, because I want it to fall a little bit faster. So that'll just add a little weight. It's going to fall nose down and kind of sit on the bottom, almost kind of like a shaky head. There we go.
There's a fish. Do I still got him? Yeah, I do. He's feisty. Let's see, let's get him. Well, it looks like I lost my worm. Lost my worm on that little guy. Hooked him in the bottom lip.
There we go, fish number 2. That one came on the Neko Rig.
Fun to catch. He smoked it. There he goes.
2 rigs down. Now we're gonna tie on a Shaky Head. Alright guys, this is a Shaky Head Jig. And there's lots of different types of Shaky Head jigs. Some with a screw lock, some where you just thread your worm up over here. Lots of different types. I don't have a ton of experience with shaky heads, but I do know they work, so we're going to thread this on. I actually think this bait looks perfect for a shaky head. So imagine if you're fishing this, it's going to be sitting on the bottom like this. And you just kind of want to work your rod tip and think about this tail just shaking. So you're just trying to shake that, just like I said, shaky head. So, and the thing I like about a shaky head, it's kind of a finesse technique, but you got a weighted jig head, so you can really, you know, cast it pretty well, fish it on bigger tackle. Let's see, I think this bait is gonna be killer on a shaky head.
Well, I just beached myself. I don't know if there's enough water to even get across here. But there's some activity over here. So I'll just use this as an anchor for the moment. Looks like I'm gonna have to walk through the water to get out of this. There's the fish. Oh, jeez. I missed him. Might have been a small one. Let's see if he'll bite again. There he is. There. Damn it. Well, that's 2 bites and 2 misses on this thing. I don't like that. Well, I can't make it work on the shaky head, so I'm gonna switch it up. Had a couple bites, but I didn't execute, or I think they might have been pretty small fish. So I think my next move is gonna be Texas rig. So that looks like, what is that? That's a 5/0 hook. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? 5/0 hook? Put a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight in front of it. All right, so I got this thing Texas rigged, and it looks a little goofy because of the shape of this worm. But I think it should work. Unpegged. Don't want to peg that thing unless you're fishing super heavy cover or something like that, or you're flipping into thick stuff. So we're gonna toss this out there and see if we can get a bite on this. There's a fish. Dang it! So I've had some bites with this thing. a couple on the Shaky Head, and now I've had at least 3 bites with the Texas rigged. And I cannot get a hook in the fish, so I don't know, maybe it's not a real, I mean, I don't think it was designed to fish this way, but it's more of a Wacky Worm presentation, Neko Rig style. I've had bites, I can't hook the fish. I'll try for a little bit more, then I might switch it back. There he is. Yes. There we go. Well, I was able to catch one finally on the Texas rig. Man, I struggled though. I had several bites and couldn't get him I couldn't get him hooked. Got this guy hooked good though. Not a big one, nice chunker though. Nice healthy fish. Not very happy about it.
There we go, the Berkley FLUTE WORM. It definitely worked better with the Neko and the Wacky Rig. Those bites were no doubters. Like, thumped it, set the hook, got the fish. When I tried to fish it with a Shaky Head, I had a few bites, but I couldn't get any hookups with that Shaky Head. And then I switched over to a Texas rig, and I actually thought it would do really well as a Texas rig, but it didn't. I mean, I struggled. I had several bites, but I was only able to hook one of those fish, which was kind of frustrating. You can see this thing's got bite marks all over it. It's all chewed up. It's been chewed on several times, several hits, but just couldn't capitalize on them. So finally caught one there on it, Texas rigged, so that was a good deal. But this is a pretty cool bait. I'm gonna fish it more as a Wacky Rig or Neko Rig. I really like it as a Neko Rig. You got this big face on the end. You can put your weight in there, your nails, whatever you're using for weights, and then it just falls down perfectly, just like that. And it's got a lot of action in the water. It really waves around. It is kind of a big bait, and I do like that because it's heavy enough. I was throwing this weightless on a bait caster. So this is my kind of big soft plastics rig. It's a 7'3" heavy action with a fast taper. It's a Lew's TP1 speed stick. I've got a Lew's Tournament MP on there with 7.3 to 1, or maybe 7.5 to 1. That way when I have a fish grabbing it, I can reel down quickly on the slack and yank on them and stay ahead of them. So I like to be able to. So that's probably the first time I ever fished a Wacky Rig on a bait caster. So, and it worked really well. So, and I've got 20-pound fluorocarbon on here. I don't remember the brand. I think it's Seaguar Red Label. It's cool to try this bait. I only got one packet of them, but I do like them. I do like them a lot for that Neko Rig. So I'm probably going to pick up some more of them. Like I said, it's a heavy bait. It's 6.7 inches. So it's got enough rubber there that you can throw it on a bait caster pretty easily. And then you could throw it a mile on a spinning rod. It would work just fine there too. I like a bait caster with a meaty bait like this, so then I can make sure I got a lot of backbone in my rod to get the hook through the fish. Alright guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell down there so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching today, and we will see you next time.